Hey guys, it's Jeff. It's going to be time for part 5 of the 8.8 centimeter or 88 millimeter 9-ton VOMAG build, okay, in 1/35 scale by Das Werk. Let's try and see if we can get the majority of the rear suspension done today, okay? All right, let's go down the bench. Thanks, guys. Okay, here's where we are right now. I put the front spindles and the springs and the front axle on yesterday and these drive shafts. I pinned these with 0.5 copper wire, and they are a little bit loose. I'm not real happy with the fit. I have ordered some 1 millimeter brass rod that I think will work better. And I'll get that in the next day or two. And then I'll probably change these out and figure out what I'm going to do with a tie rod. Okay, so today I want to work on getting this rear suspension pretty much done. Here are all the parts for step 3. Okay, all cleaned up. I cleaned those up yesterday. So let's go ahead and go down the bench and see what we can get done. Well, let's take a look at our instructions first. Okay, let's do that, and that way we'll see what actually needs to be done. All right, be right back, guys. Thanks. Okay, this is step 3, and everything that is in yellow is in these little cups in front of me here. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. We've got several sub-assemblies. A is just putting the 2 differential halves together, so I'll do that, and then I want to let them dry a little bit and clean the seams up. 2 is the springs. We've got to make 2 of those. Then 3 is attached. I think these are some kind of a shock absorber. Maybe it's part of the brakes. I really don't know. Could be part of the braking system. We need to put the axles and things on the differential, and then it all comes together here. Now you've got to be real careful with these suspensions like this, because if you want your model to sit flat on the table, they have to be assembled in just the right way. If you don't do it right, one set of wheels will not touch. So we'll have to work that out as we go. There goes my furnace again. Next sub-assembly is some reduction gearboxes that'll go on the differentials. And then putting the differentials, and there's some, I'm not sure if these are sway bars or just what exactly they are called. We've got to put those on, and we've got a drive shaft that goes between them. And then over here where it all goes in the frame, we've got another drive shaft. And they've got the exhaust pipe included in this, which I will not attach. I'll be painting that separately and putting it on later. But I did cut it out because it shows it in the direction, so we'll just save it for later. Okay, so let's go down to the bench. Be right back. Okay guys, here are our parts. This is the first parts, the center sections of the differentials. Here's that exhaust pipe that I won't be doing right now, so I'll put that aside, and that'll be attached later. Looks like I need to do just a little bit more sanding on there, but anyway, I'll put that in another container. Everything that's not being put on right now, I have a container back here and I'm putting everything in there so that they don't get lost. Okay, let's go ahead and get these put together, and then we'll let those dry just a little bit. If you notice, there's a slot in these, if you can see it even. This is a hard time I have with seeing what I'm doing here. So I want to try and make it to where these are in focus for you. Try and focus this a little bit. There we go. So this little slot on the bottom is part of the where the drain plug is, and then the slot on the top is where those sway bars will attach to. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and glue these together for right now, and they are a nice fit. Okay, so let's do that. Sorry, move this up just a little bit. Try and keep everything in frame where you can see what I'm doing. Okay, try to make sure that when you put them together you get it lined up just right so there's less cleanup later. Okay. I'm going to use, where are my tweezers? Here we go. A lot of times if a part's just got a little gap, I'll just take the tweezers and squeeze it and hold it for a second. Just give it a chance to come together. Okay, that looks real good. It's going to take just a little bit of sanding to clean up the seams, but not bad at all. Okay, let's see here. That one's going to be the same. These are identical, but when you put them in, one of them's going to be right side up and one of them's going to be upside down, if that makes sense. At least that's what I get from the directions. Try and get the seams to where they're as even as I can. That way I don't have to sand these very much. And this one here's the same way. It's going to need a little, just a little squeeze. There we go. Okay, let's set these aside and give them a few minutes. And in the next step, that's actually this. Got these slightly out of order, I guess. This is the springs. Now they have N8, which goes to the center. It's like this. Whoops. Yeah, let me put a little glue in there. Then we'll set it in. Make sure it's sitting in there flat. Well, get it the way I want it. There we go. Oh, boy, really easy for it to push it in. Let's go at it again. I'm going to put just a little more glue on there. We want to make sure we get a nice tight or a nice strong bond, because this part's going to hold the weight of the model. This pin is where the suspension attaches to the frame. If we don't get a good joint there, we don't want that to break later. Okay, that looks pretty good. I want to make sure I get a nice strong joint. Okay, and we'll do this the same. I've been getting some really nice comments from you guys, and I really appreciate it. The channel is growing, so we picked up a few subscribers, and I really appreciate that too. And all my subscribers I really appreciate, not just the new ones, but everybody that's been around watching for a while. Okay. Just trying to make sure that's going to be a nice strong joint. I'm actually flexing the spring this way just a tiny little bit to kind of close that gap up there. Okay, I'm happy with that. Then we've got a little cap that goes on top and bottom, just like so. We actually had a little bit of rain and a little bit of hail yesterday. We don't get very much hail around here. It's just some small stuff, so it didn't really cause any damage. If it had been later in the year, it probably would have beat up some gardens pretty good, but not too bad right now. Okay. Centered. There we go. Okay. Looks pretty good. Put the top and bottom on this. One of my subscribers, and I'm sorry I don't remember your name, had asked me to show my display cabinet. They wanted to see the scamel in the display case. So at the end of this video, I'll put a quick little video up just showing what's in my display case, so you guys can see. Whoops, and that kind of fell in again. Kind of tricky there. Gotta be real careful with it till the glue sets. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that one. That could stand to go down just a little bit more. There goes the furnace. Okay, well, that still doesn't sit down quite the way I want it to. There we go. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. These here, they have two different part numbers. U22 and U23. I cannot tell them apart. I'm not sure. But I didn't pay attention when I was taking them off. Well, I looked at them when I took them off, and I couldn't see a difference. So I didn't keep them. And you can't see what I'm doing. There we go. So I'm sure these are all the same, even though they have different part numbers. Okay, they're gonna go. I gotta watch, make sure I put them in the right side up. Okay, they're gonna go like this. Whoops, to go with that flange to the inside. And to the bottom. They're going to go like this. Just like that. Okay. Okay. Whoops. I was looking ahead in the directions, which I tend to do. And the next thing we have to do is build up the rear wheels and tires. Now, there's 4 rears, 2 fronts, and a spare, but they have you build them all up at different times in the instructions, which I would prefer to just do them all at the same time and have them all ready to go, and that way I can start figuring out priming and painting and that type of thing. Okay, oops, that's not quite right. Okay, and a little glue in there. Just hold that for a second. I'm giving just a little bit of gap between them. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's how that goes. And then we've got one on this side also. I'll put a little glue here while I'm at it. I've got a GMC Hobby Boss kit, the truck with the bofers on the back of it. I was looking at it the other day. It's considerably smaller than this is. Of course, the bofers isn't nearly as big a gun as the 88 either. And one other thing that I might mention in the kit, the gun in the kit has no shield on it. The instruction booklet, or the actual book that came with it, the one that they have built up, has a shield on it. So I guess there was multiple variants. Some of the pictures in the book show them, I believe, I may be wrong, but I believe some of the pictures in the book show a gun with a shield, and some show without a shield. So I'm thinking about a shield on this one. I have I think it's a Tamiya kit in my stash, a flat gun 88 with the shield. And I'm debating about, using that shield as a pattern to scratch build one, or use that shield in this. I haven't decided yet. Okay. Just have to decide. I'll have to get it out and look at it. I think it's in my closet. Okay. If I can get the pieces. Sorry, dead air. Just concentrating. Okay. Just want to make sure that's pulled together all the way. There we go. Okay. One more time. Okay, there's our two springs. I'm going to let these dry a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and sand the seams on the differentials just to make sure those are good, and then we'll come back and we'll add the axles to the differentials and a few other things. Okay, be back in a little bit, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, here's the two differentials with the seams all sanded. Okay, I got rid of that seam pretty well. Here's the axles, and then I think these are part of the brakes for each side. We're going to build up two identical sets here, and then one is going to be flipped upside down at a later date. Okay, so this has got a slot right here, if you can see it. See, I'm really having a hard time making sure this is in focus. That looks pretty good, I guess. This will go in here like this. And there's really no way to, it doesn't have any kind of alignment pins or anything to keep it straight. You just kind of have to do the best you can with it. What I'm going to do is these go on top like this, and then when I put everything together, I'll be able to use that kind of as a way to side across it to make sure that everything's straight. Hopefully it'll become clear as I do it. Okay, let's get these glued on. Get them to sit down on there. When we put the brake drums on, these actually go, this little pin here goes into a place on the brake drum. That's what makes me think it's part of the braking system. Okay. everything lined up here. If I wanted to, I could cut a brake drum free and just set it over there just to make sure it looks right. Fact is, let's see here. I don't know if you'll be able to see or not what I'm doing, but this is the brake drum right here. Let's go up a little more here. So this will actually set just like that when it's all put together. Okay, if that makes sense. There's two brake drums for the, well actually there's 5 brake drums for the rear. 4 for the rear, 1 for the spare. To go look like this, and then the front wheels, the brake drum is included in the wheel, not a separate item, but that's kind of how they're going to go together. So that will sit right in that little hole right there. Okay. Put this back. Okay, so there's that side. And on this side, they'll go like this. And bring this back down. I'm sorry guys. Try and make it to where you can see what I'm doing. Those will go together just like that. Okay, somebody going by in a noisy car. Okay, there's one. Let's see here, and this is the other. Okay, so go back down here a little bit. There's our differentials, and this is our axles for one side and axles for the other side. These will go here, just like that. Hold that for a second. Then I'm going to use a straight edge and try my best to side along it and make sure the axles look straight. See, that looks way too low. It'd be kind of tricky to keep everything straight. That still looks low. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this one. It's not terribly tight. Just do your best to sight it. Okay. Whoops. And then I drop it. Okay, let's do the other side here. There's a square here will go in here, just like that. Then you can see how far off these could be. I want to side across them and make sure everything looks pretty level. And make sure I'm going the right way. See, that could be off by a long ways. Just going to take a little while for these to firm up enough I can get them where they need to be. Obviously, from this way, that's twisted quite a bit. Sorry if you guys can't see, I'm just trying to side across these two and see if they look like they're level, and they're definitely not. The whole thing needs to go that way a little bit. Okay, that's pretty close. I'm going to let things firm up a little bit, and then I'll come back and do some adjustments before the glue actually has a chance to set completely. Sorry, just concentrating on what I'm doing here. It needs to go that way quite a bit. Trying to get these to where they are straight across. That looks pretty good. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn the camera off and let these firm up a little bit, and I'll come back with a straight edge. They are pretty fragile. That's basically our two rear axles. Okay, I'm going to let these set up a little bit, and I'll be checking them every which way with a straight edge, and then we'll come back. Okay. Okay, it's been 30 or 40 minutes. I guess things are pretty well firmed up. I went ahead and just kind of dry fitted this. Everything's still loose, but this is kind of the way the differentials are going to go. It's funny because they face, this one faces backwards. But I don't want to glue this swivel in yet until I can get this thing on the ground. Oop, there goes Jordan. Because I want to make sure when I set it on the ground, all the wheels touch. Okay, that's the big thing, is I don't want one set of wheels off the ground. Well, the next thing we need to do is build these little reduction boxes that'll go on the ends of the front and rear differential here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get those put together. The back one has a little cap we need to put on, so I'm going to do like this. Oh, and before I forget, there was some really big Z-pins in here, and you have to make sure those are completely removed or the parts won't fit together. These may take just a little bit of clamping. Although, just trying to get them lined up as best I can so I don't have any major seams to clean up. Yeah, see, I've got a little gap right here, so I'm going to have to put a little more glue on that and clamp it. Or just use my tweezers. Just doesn't take too much. There's a gap right here, but that's going to be covered. That's the important thing. Just make sure that this grabs. Before I put these all together, I'm going to go around and sand this seam too. I just want to make sure that it looks like one part without a big seam before we continue. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then we've got this that goes over the top of it. Whoops. That'll go just like that. Whoops. Kind of hard to hold on to. There we go. Okay, I still want to sand this seam. And then we got this little cap to put on the very back one, and it's keyed. Get it turned the right direction. Okay, so that one's good except for the seam, so I'll set that aside and we'll do this one real quick. Still got just a little bit of a gap there. That's better. Okay. I'm assuming these either have a series of gears or a couple of big chains or something that run in there that reduces the revolutions probably by about half. Okay, I'm going to let these set for a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. I've got the drive shaft that goes in between here. Okay, and I've got a couple of U-joints that go on it, so we could put those on. Let those be drying. Okay. Okay, we'll just leave those alone for a while. Now this is the drive shaft that goes from the transfer case up to here, and I'm not going to glue it in until I get this situated where I want it, but I can at least glue this universal joint on it. Okay, we'll let that set up. Then I've got two, I'm not sure just what these would be called, They're little arms that go, that are torque, for canceling out torque or just what, but they'll go from here to here. Oh, there goes Jordan. So I can go ahead and glue those in, I think. This is absolutely not, it's all just dry fit to this point. We can go ahead and glue these in. That'll give us our angle for that, which I don't want to actually glue these until I get the drive shaft in there. Whoops. I'm going to knock it apart. Okay, and then we'll put this other one in. Let's see here. Sorry if I'm off camera. Okay, and that'll let me rotate these to line up there. I'm not sure which side that goes on. I'll have to check the directions. Alright, I'm just going to let some stuff dry for a little while, and then I'll come back and we'll get these arms in the right place. I'm not sure which side that goes on. Probably like this. I'll double check my directions. Alright, I'll be back in just a little bit. Thanks, guys. Okay, these have had a little time to dry, and I've sanded that edge. I actually went over it with just a little bit of the glue, just to kind of take some sanding marks and stuff like that out. So this is the back one with the little cap, and this is the front one with the keyed fitting here that'll go to the front drive shaft. So these are going to go in here kind of like this, kind of opposites, not straight up, but kind of at an angle, and this drive shaft will go between them. So I've got these still dry fit in here with these attached on one side. They're going to go in, I don't know if you can see it or not, just like this. Okay, so we can go ahead and glue those, and then I'm going to get this on here, and then we'll get the drive shaft in and everything. So first thing we'll do is here. Gotta get a little glue here and here. Get everything centered just right. Sorry if I'm moving things, but that needs to go forward just a little bit. Just trying to center them up exactly. Okay, and then this one here. Just trying to make sure we're 100% straight. Okay, and that'll go there. Try and keep this all together still, because it's just dry fitted on the frame still. Okay, and that needs to go down just like that. Okay, that looks pretty good. I think I'm going to go ahead and glue here, here, but I'm not going to glue where it goes to frame yet, because I don't want to lock that in until we get this angle exactly what I want. Okay. Okay. Okay, that looks pretty good. Then this is going to be the rear reduction box. Let's see what would be the best way to get that in there. It's keyed, it'll go in here. Let's get some glue on it. Need more fingers. There we go. That's where that goes. And it's keyed on the bottom. There's a little tab. Make sure it's sitting square in all directions, which it needs to go up just a little bit. See, it's not square. Whoops. We'll get it. Right there is where it goes. Okay, that looks good. Pretty happy with that. Needs to be turned. It's kind of like on a ball, where it kind of swivels a little bit here. Okay. Still not 100% where I want it. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then this will go here with this between it. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this in. Like so. Give it a second. Okay, and then this will go, moving things, this will go here. I'll get some glue on that. And this will go here. Get that in and that in. It needs to be trimmed just a little bit. Needs to go this way just a tiny bit. I gotta put some more glue on there. Sorry, just concentrating on what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm happy with that. There's our differential. That's quite a little operation. And then we've got this that'll go up here, but I'm not going to attach it yet. Well, there. This will go here. Okay, but I want to get everything. Well, there is some flexibility there. Maybe I could go ahead and put it in. I don't want to glue those two joints here and here until I get it on a flat surface and make sure I got this angle just right. I think this will go in okay. Let's see here. And this is keyed. And that should go in there like that. Okay. There we go. Okay. That still gives us some flexibility. Okay. I won't glue these until, well, I already said it, until I get it on a flat surface and I can get it exactly in the right place. There it is, guys. That's the rear differentials all put together. That's quite the piece. Okay, I'll put some pictures up here at the end, and next video we'll probably start working on some tires and wheels. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, I had a request to show my display case. Here's some of my shop cards. I've still got more I haven't got put up yet. There's my wings kit that was given to me that I'm going to be building one of these days. Here's my display case. We can go through it just real quick here. There's a Saint Chamond World War I tank. So I'm sorry about the light glaring. There's a Holt artillery tractor, Mini Art LGOC armored car or armored truck. There's a Mini Art coal truck, Copper State Models Canadian machine gun carrier. There's a Whippet. I think it's a TACOM kit. There's the the Bedford that I built not too long ago. And here's a Mini Art Tempo vegetable wagon. Here's the GMC Beaufort truck. Okay. That's a Chevrolet Mini Art kit there. And there's another Mini Art kit, the Werkstatt Craft Wagon. That's the very first kit I ever built on the channel. And down here I've got some egg planes I built 2002 and 2003. I'm going to try and build one this year if I can find the time. There's a little USS Missouri I built for a cartoon group build. And there's a tiger tank, a cartoon tiger tank my grandson and I built together. And there's the Scammel with the bulldozer. And then below that is the bridge layer that we just finished. And here's a LGOC long light seal support craft. I think that's a Dragon kit. And there's an old, I think that's a Nashorn or Nashorn. I don't remember for sure. It's an old Dragon kit. Then I've got 3 more models down there that I built way before I started the channel and never even got around to painting them. So that's about all that's in
in the display case right now. All right, I hope you like that, and I'm going to have to move some stuff around when it comes time to putting some of these new kits in here. Might have to store a few of them. All right, thanks a lot, guys.